For you, Felix, it's always been because you mentioned the importance of the lyrics. You always went for songs that had lyrics and had a. It wasn't
Yeah.
a typical EDM just music, but you wanted to have it as a song, right?
Yeah, I like my music to be like, songs, tracks, and not like an instrumental.
Mm.
I'm working on some stuff. I have instrumentals, because then they are more groovy. That there's more instrumental things going around, because I like the vocal, because it's like, it's not just a melody. It's not just a sound. It's also has like words, and it means something, and that's the difference about just the piano having a good melody. There is the vocals having the good melody, the good rhythm, and then also the feelings on it, and that's really different about the vocal. And I just love vocals. When I do a track, I just don't imagine it without vocals, because I just love to sing along with the music, and that's everybody loves to. I think
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say everybody, because some people just don't like it,
Right.
but a lot of people just like vocals, because you can sing with it, you can understand, you can relate, you can attach things to it, and I think that's really cool.
What do you look for then? Because you did a song with Emma Bale, Run.
Yeah.
And so what do you look, and then reality obviously. So what do you look for in songs where?
Well, for the story behind Emma Bale is really funny, because I was actually in my car. I was just driving home. I just arrived in Belgium, and then suddenly this music from Emma Bale comes on the radio. Then it starts with guitar. I just love guitar, just acoustic guitar, and then the melody from the guitar was really cool. And suddenly the girl starts singing, and she sings actually really nice.
Amazing voice.
Yeah, she has an amazing voice, and she starts singing, and I'm like, oh, and I didn't even listen to the lyrics, because I was like, oh, this is awesome, and I immediately Shazammed it, and I immediately sent the email like, I want to make a remix of this track. And then afterwards, when I had all the parts, because it wasn't a famous song at the moment, then it grew later bigger, but then I started listening to the lyrics, and was like, oh, this is actually also pretty cool. But I didn't. This wasn't really important for me at that moment, because I was like, the guitar is awesome, the melody is awesome. She also sings really good. She has like sentimental in her voice,
Right.
and that's what I wanted, and yeah, that's why I made the remix of Run.
Can you now, because of your success in the past years, can you just pick a song and say, okay, I want to remix, or I want to, or do you get turned down as well?
Well, I often get proposals from big guys asking me to do remixes for them.
Can you give me one example of somebody who asked?
Well, I got a proposal from Rudimental and Ed Sheeran, but after, I love to work on my originals. But what I love the most is when I do a remix is to choose what I'm gonna remix myself, because it's like, for me, a remix is to make a track you like in another way. You think it's gonna be better. It's not like I just want you to make another version of this track because I think you have a cool style. I think I want to make a version of this track because I think this version is really cool, but I think I can make a better one. Of a different one that's going into the dance world. Because I just asked to make a remix of of another track, and I always fall in love with like a bit weird tracks, but not weird, but more acoustic, and where the voice has something, there is something, and then it's like, man, I want to remix this. It's not like we asked for me to remix it. I want to do it, and then when I get the parts, I just do the remix, and it takes me like 3-4 hours to get like the whole maquette done, and to have the idea done, and then work it over the few days after. But it just come by. And when sometimes I get like a proposal to do a remix for a nice artist, I try because it's good, but sometimes it just I don't think I want to do it. So.
Are you working on anything now then?
Yeah, I'm working on a lot of tracks. I'm working on originals.
Okay.
Because I also want to say thank you to Janieck, because of him, we have like a really cool original going on.
Thank
right
you,
now.
man. Thank you.
And that's really cool, because a lot of people were saying to me like, you just can't do remixes, you can't do anything else. But I made a lot of originals. I have a lot of originals on my computer, but I think making my own music is also really nice. But I just love to do remixes, and if people don't like it, then it's okay.
So these originals then, are you planning towards an album maybe, or is that something of the past where in EDM now it's just?
No, I hope I will be able to release an album, because when you release an album also you people take your project more seriously because it's more like a whole thing, you know. But yeah.
Okay, and reality went platinum in the Netherlands. Congratulations.
Thank you.
For you, are you with me? It's 2 out of 2 now, I think. So what does that tell you about your music? What?
Well, it's pretty weird because I just don't still realize that my music is played all over the world, and I don't think you do too, because the music we have, like Reality and Are You With Me, are so huge you just can't imagine.
You cannot get grip on it. You know, it's.
You cannot understand how much people are actually listening to this track every day, and I don't believe it. I just don't believe it that people are actually hearing the track and enjoying it, because it's so great for me, because I was like the guy listening to the music on the radio and enjoying it, and I think it's so great for me to have people listening to what I made on my computer with some samples and some stuff, and they just love it. It's really, I think it's awesome, but I just don't get it.
We just talked like today about like all the streamings and everything and YouTube views and whatever is amazing, but like today we both got the platinum record, and that's a physical thing you can touch. Like then you suddenly
understand more what's going on. Yeah,
then you suddenly believe it. Like, oh, like it's really happening. It's really happening, because the rest is just like digital. You cannot really, like, oh yeah, a lot of streams, but all right. And you hear it on the radio, but then you got like the physical, like, the real deal. And then we're both like, wow.
And Felix, last time I spoke to you, you told me about hearing your own music in the movie theaters or something.
Yeah.
So Janieck, do you remember something like that, where you just walking around and suddenly heard your own voice?
Yeah, I heard a lot of times now, and it's crazy. I was in Paris for a weekend. I heard it in several stores and in the car. I was in Portugal driving. I heard it. I was in Germany. I heard it all the time on the radio. And then, like, most funny thing, like a few days ago, I was in my hometown, and there was like a big catwalk for models in the main street of the village, and I was standing somewhere at the cashier to like buy some, I don't know what I wanted to buy, and then like Reality comes on, and like all the models are walking on the beat of Reality, like all the way through the main street, and a guy in front of me, and that was like the most amazing thing, the guy in front of me was singing along. I mean, decisions as I go to anywhere.
That's awesome. I think that's just the best.
So I didn't say anything, but I was like, oh no, the guy knows the lyrics, and he's singing the lyrics that I wrote on my couch in my student room, and he's singing them all, and I was thinking, yeah, he had it right, you know? And that's crazy, but like I do the same as you. I never. It's not that you're embarrassed, but I don't want to go to people like, that's my song. You're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
So I was standing behind him, and I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, and then you just go home. You're so happy to see people enjoying the music.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
And so that, well, we kind of touched upon it already, but finally then, how do you see the future? You don't have definite plans to work together. You are working on original material. Do you know where you're going?
I'm still writing for a lot of DJs, and I think there are gonna be some featurings, but I'm not sure which one yet, and which are like really like finished or that's going to be released for sure. And I'm working on my solo project as well, and because I released an album like 2 years ago, and there was a kind of country pop kind of sound, like a really acoustic John Mayer kind of feel. And now I'm here, and I'm thinking of writing a new album.
Okay.
And I'm kind of experimenting right now, like which direction it will go.
Did you take away something from working with each other? Because you're more as a songwriter, you're as a producer. Do you look different at writing songs now, Felix? And do you hear the sounds differently?
I approach songwriting different since we worked.
I don't.
I do.
I was already like I just loved like I was remixing a lot of acoustic tracks and with some nice lyrics. And when he sent me a demo that sounded like an acoustic track, it was like I knew what I had to do, and I really loved to work on it. But yeah, I mean, I already had tracks I made, and I already had written lyrics also. I also wrote lyrics for my own tracks.
Okay.
So that's why I'm in another world. I think you had like an approach of the dance music, but I listened to a lot of also indie rock.
Yeah.
So I kind
knew it
of
already,
knew the world
Right.
already.
What I really learned, what for me was like really confirmation. Like a lot of people always told me, like I wrote with a lot of musicians that they have like high degrees in music schools and universities, and the people always say, like the legends also, they say always like it should be simple. Like the most simple things are like the greatest songs or the greatest products that are created. And I was like, hey, yeah, that's true, but you know. And then when I heard "Are You With Me," it worked, and I loved it. And reality is kind of not very. It's not more difficult or something. It's again one theme, one vocal theme that repeats, and it works again. So for me, it's like that's it. That's how it should be done, you know. But not always. But it's an approach I didn't do before this. First, I always had like a verse, pre-chorus, chorus, maybe after chorus, another verse, again, bridge,
Right.
interlude, whatever, all kinds of like
a set structure.
Yeah, structures. And now I'm more like, maybe it's better to like.
But we have to say the structure of reality is different from a lot of dance tracks going around.
True. Yeah.
It's not like it starts immediately with the beat, then there is like a little part where you sing, then a little beat for 15 seconds, then he sings again,
That's
and then
true, yeah.
and there is a little bridge, and then the beat, and it's done, and that's the track. It's 2 minutes 45, and that's all, you know. And
that's so great about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's short, and we just kept like the best part of the tracks, and we didn't put it too long, so it doesn't become annoying. And you know, when it comes on the radio, you hear the track and you enjoy the whole track, and you don't have like a part like, this is the part I don't really like of the track. You know, there's just the best. And that's also what I made with "Are You With Me," you know? Just the guitar, just a little beat, not much on the beat, just, you know, just the guitar and the bass and some percussions, and that's all. Because that's what I like. I like to keep it simple.
And that's what I learned. Exactly that.
To keep things simple.
To keep things simple.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.